You date to marry?
Yes.
Okay.
Most
So
definitely.
what about moving in with the man before, like, you know, like, how do you feel about moving in with the man before y'all are married? Like, before all of that?
So,
Like, for the first time you ever lived with the guy, like, very first time.
so I think that a part of me feel like it's much needed.
Yeah, like it's necessary.
It's I kind of have mixed feelings about that. But my input on it, I definitely feel like a part of me thinks that it's much needed because if you think about it, you dating this person, you only know half of this person. You don't know the full them.
Yeah.
So you going into it and you dating them, you don't know what it's like to first wake up with them. You don't know what it's like to go to bed with them. You don't know what it's like to
pay bills.
Yeah, pay bills with them. You don't know what it's like if they don't, put down the damn toilet seat. Like, you just don't know none of that. And you can know, like I said, like half of it if you're like, spending the night.
But it's spending the night is not the
very
same.
different.
Very different.
It's very different. And I feel like the older generation, they kind of, make us to believe that,
gotta be married.
Yeah, you
can't
be
do
married.
that.
You shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. But we are in a different generation.
Whole different generation.
Things are a little bit more different than what it used to be. So I think that, they should, try it out. If it doesn't work for you, hey, go on about your business. If it do work for you, great.
Yeah. What about living with a man? Like, what's the thing I'm thinking of? What about living with a man? And like, would you say it should be like an apartment or like a house?
Definitely an apartment.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like a house needs to come until I have a ring on my finger.
You always gonna say put the ring on.
I'm very, very big on that. I don't feel like, because for one, a house, that's just a big, big adjustment. That's a big, big responsibility.
So is an apartment. I mean, I get what you're saying. A house is more permanent. You know what I'm saying? An apartment is something you can easily get out of. That's true.
So do you feel like it's okay to have a house with a man that you're not married to? And obviously both of your names are on that deed. Both of your names,
I personally would like to be married before I get a house with somebody because, like you said, a house is kind of a big step. There's a lot that goes into getting a house. Once you get a house, you can't just be like, oh, well, we're done. Like, no, you got that house. There's a lot that goes into getting a house versus getting an apartment. But to answer like the first little question that I asked you, I would not move back in with the man. Mm-hmm. We gonna have to be together for a minute before we even think of that. Yes, I want to live with you before we get married, but I would need to be with you for a good amount of time because I've done it before and it's very traumatic. It changes you. Like,